It was almost 150 years ago that the first climb of the Matterhorn took place. We had three gentlemen from the Midwestern part of the United States come here to relive this majestic mountain area and redo the famous Edward Whymper climb to the top of the Matterhorn after practicing a lot on vertical ascent in what's it called, guys?
Vertical endeavors.
Vertical endeavors in Minneapolis. They all felt prepared for the trip. Here we are at the Matterhorn Museum. What a fitting place where the relics of the first trip up to the Matterhorn took place. These three gentlemen have managed to climb one of the Alps here in
the
Swiss Alps in Zermatt, Switzerland. So I'd like to start with Neil Robinson for a short description of the trip and what happened.
Well, I have to say, Morgan, that our group has had a couple of words that we use to describe our preparation: weak, meek, mild. We were candid. We were cavalier in the way we attempted this endeavor, and it was pointed to us a couple times, specifically on the Riffelhorn. I'll allow the other Swiss Alp, my other fellow climbers, to comment on their experiences.
Craig Miller.
I'd like to thank...
what's your Swiss name, by the way?
Nico.
Nico, okay.
I'd like to thank Vertical Endeavors for sponsoring us, by the way, on this trip. I thought we were prepared until we were about 3/4 of the way up the Riffel, and Tomas, our Swiss guide, as I climbed over the ledge, looked at me and said, really? The Matterhorn? I think that really explains it all.
Let's go over to Jeff, who
most improved
said he was in abject terror 10 minutes after the first practice climb. Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, Vertical Endeavors features a 60-foot face. And as daunting as that was as we were training, once we were 10 minutes out of the Riffelhorn, where I'd say the face was more like 6,000 feet, we knew that we had undertrained at that point. When one can be fearful of their life within 10 minutes of leaving the train station, I mean, it's a different game.
And not quitting it. The fear continued.
The fear continued, and it's only dissipating now as we prepare to leave town.
And go to the flatlands?
Yeah.
And how would you say the second climb was? You guys didn't really talk about the Pollux. Pretty much walk in the park?
Well, that's a certified climb, by the way. We do have certificates for that 4,100 meters.
We were naive.
I
thought it was a walk
looked death in the
snow.
face. Who was pinched up against the mountain?
This man extricated himself from a near
fatality on the mountain.
We almost had to abandon him, but we didn't, and he muscled his way through a very precarious position coming down the Pollux in the crevasse.
Morg, let me sum it up this way. On the Pollux, Neil got hit in the head with an ice axe that was tumbling down the hill. Miller had to contemplate briefly if he'd amputate his own left leg to free it from
much
the
like
rope.
that movie that was just famous.
He asked me what kind of knife I had on my person in case it had to happen that way.
I also took a cramp onto the melon.
I will say, and a pair of sunglasses to the melon, too, I might add mine. I will say our guide, Johan, seemed a much more shrewd judge of talent than Tomas on the first day, because I noticed my role increased dramatically, whereas I was sort of a co-guide, I felt like, on Pollux.
Yeah. I think it's safe to say from the moment we stepped foot in Zermatt, we were in over our head.
Yeah. We are now on the same path. Now let's take on Italy. What do you think, guys?
Take on Italy, and what's next? The whitewater rafting?
Yes, right.
No, I think another evening of Neil and Craig at the disco.
That was more
probably
challenging.
going to be more challenging.
Okay, guys.